New Year, everybody.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, well, let's start with everybody remember to have your video on during the meeting, and put your category next to your name in your video, and we will be meeting until probably about 8 o'clock, somewhere around there. And remember that we are recording. All right, let's start with first order of business, Jimmy, our introduction of guests. Let's start with BJ.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year again. I'm BJ, the photographer. That's the name of my business, and my name is BJ or Brittany. I recently have been commissioned to do business photos for an esthetician who just opened her salon, or is opening her salon suite, courtesy of T, who is helping her transition the suite. Also doing maternity photos this coming week, as well as some boudoir photos. And yeah, staying busy, definitely staying busy this month.
Okay, beautiful. And next hour, and thank you. Let's give everybody a hand to BJ for coming. We're glad to see you again. And we have a new guest as well, Naima Blasco. Please introduce yourself, name, company, and category.
Good morning. My name is Naima Blasco, and the name of my company is Boutique Concierge, which is a personal assistant and errand service company. And what we do is to help people have more time and less stress. And we do this by managing their households. We run their errands, do their shopping. Basically, we take their to-do list and we get things done. And we are based in Beverly Hills. However, we work with clients pretty much, especially West Side and West Hollywood, Hollywood Hills, Brentwood, Santa Monica, all that. Once in a while, we go further, but it's basically that area. We work Monday through Fridays, and our clients, our goal is to help the Angelinos with those to-do lists, like I mentioned, but we also work with clients out of town who come to LA for a few weeks. And so we help them with shopping and services while they're here in Los Angeles.
Wow, Naima, I cannot wait to hear some of your stories. You must have some real diva stories. Naima, where are you? You're invited by whom?
I was invited by Jim. Jim called me a few weeks ago. He was very nice and invited me before today. However, the holidays are actually our busiest season. And so I couldn't attend the meeting until today, but I'm very happy to be here. Very grateful to Jim and to all of you. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Welcome, Naima. Thanks for coming. And BJ, you are a guest of T, is that right?
Yes.
And T just joined as a guest of, was it Liberty?
No, she was
Laisha.
Laisha, that's right, Laisha. Beautiful. All right, well, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome. Okay, next slide, Jimmy. Cynthia, are you available to read our creed?
Yes, I think so. Will I be able to see it from my phone? Let me just look.
If not, no problem.
No.
No,
I can't
Antonio,
see it.
how about
I'm
you?
Sorry.
I got you, no problem. Creed of the Hancock Park Referral Network. LATIP is a professional organization of men and women dedicated to the highest standard of competence. Wait a minute. Am I? Okay, make sure I'm not on mute. And service. Our purpose is to exchange of business tips. Members will, at all times, maintain the highest professional integrity. Each business category is represented by one member only, and conflicts of interest are disallowed.
Beautiful, thank you. All right, I'm just getting some more light here. Let's see, how about T? Hi there.
Hi.
Hi, how about a definition of a tip?
Definition of a tip. A qualified business tip is a company or person who is interested in a specific service or product and is expecting a call from a Hancock Park Referral Network member.
All right, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, guys, so we know what a qualified tip is and we know about our creed. Let's move on to the next slide. I think it's going to be speaking. Yep. So everybody, welcome back. And, you know, it is now the 12th. We're freaking halfway through January. And hopefully we're all like easing back into it. Some people started working last Monday. I'm like, I'm taking a little bit more than that. So
some of us don't
this is
stop.
my week, and I want to just to open it up to everybody. There's a few things going into any new year. Some people do business planning pretty seriously. Some people just have a general goal. I wanted to just quickly go through everybody's plans for the year, and also if you have a fun story from your holidays, love to hear it. Again, what are your plans for the new year as far as business? Again, as always, on what we're doing is what are you looking for? What would you like us ideally to introduce you to? We can introduce you to anybody. So who would you love to meet? What are you ideally looking for? And then something personal about how it went over the holidays. Okay, how about does anybody want to volunteer? Just raise your hand.
I'll just get it over with.
All right. You're the brave
one. My name is Tanisha Cassie, or T. My company name is TLC Construction Drafting. And the services that I provide are pre-construction and construction services for homeowners or small businesses. I haven't passed any tips this week as of yet. But over the holidays, I think I had a referral for Antonio and BJ for the particular project that she and I are working on for an esthetician. How can you refer me? I am looking to, or anyone who is interested in or thinking of doing some remodels to their home, remodels or renovations to their home or their small business. My power partner would be, I'm going to stick firm with, I'd like to partner with an interior designer. Some of the things that I have worked on over the holidays, resting, although I've been getting rest since I've been working from home since last March, but just taking a little bit more time for myself. And some of the business ventures or goals that I have for this year, I know we talked about them briefly at our last meeting, is I am partnering with a friend of mine who is also a woman working in construction. We worked together about maybe a little over 15 years ago. Her and I recently reconnected, and we are starting almost not necessarily a referral network, but we're starting a group, if you will, for women who work in construction so that we can just be like a resource for all things. So not specific to just project managers, but for even people who do admin, people who do any woman who works in construction. We want to be the go-to and sort of bring all of us together. So that's something that I'm working on, and also possibly teaching teaching a class for apprentices who want to work in construction.
So do I hear you right saying that you want to meet women in construction?
I would like to build a network of women. There's really not a lot of us who work in construction, and I may work on a project and there may be 2 or 3 women who work on that project, and I work on that project for 2 or 3 years, and then they go on to another project and I go on to another project. So my friend and I, we'd like to just have sort of a network where all of us can call in, or we can all sort of get together. I think right now, this is very early stages, but we just want to be able to have provide a resource to all women who work in construction.
Now, I know a lot of women in interior design.
I think we'd be open to that as well. I do both residential and commercial. Most of the other women that I work with only do commercial. So I don't And there's some women in interior design that have done residential work that may want to work in commercial, so I don't think that we're excluding anyone. I think right now we're just starting with women who work within the construction industry. So,
Okay, anybody else on that? So this someone say something?
No, I was saying that was good stuff. Like the network, especially in that industry, it's hard to find, especially so if they can have a place where they can all come together, get some information, get some resources and support. I think
Tanisha, I can introduce you to a professional, a woman who works in Beverly Hills. She's part of the Chamber of Commerce there that I am too. And she has a company that is very interesting. The name is Beyrep, Beyrep. I can put it in the chat. And so it's a platform where she has a lot of construction people in it. And then when clients just go there and they pick, there's like a questionnaire. It's like a matching. So if somebody's looking for a woman instead of a man, right? So you would show up there. So if you want to put you in touch with Grace, she's the owner.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we kind of segued into the 30-second commercial. I kind of wanted to stay away from that until the end. Jimmy, can you take the 30-second commercial slide away? And then let's go to
there. Everybody is.
Let's go to Antonio. So tell us a little bit about your holiday and what your plans are for the year with your business. And
You're very lucky. My coffee just kicked in. Otherwise, I'd have been horrible. My holidays was nice, quiet, chill. D-Nice Quarantine Club. That man has saved so many people's sanity. Instagram, literally. Quarantine Club. I'm a fan.
What is that?
Quarantine Club, actually, he's a DJ, and he actually little spin for hour. He spun for the entire, from 8 p.m. our time, all the way to almost 2 a.m. our time. And he hit every single time zone's New Year's. And he's celebrated every single, starting from the East Coast all the way. And he's just playing music, and he's good. He's really good. So I was just that was my music background, playing video games with my son. And my nephew. It was actually nice to do that. My son's 20, so this is his last minor New Year's. And then of course my nephew's 26, so he was, we toasted and had a blast and good stuff. You want to know my any New Year's resolution and personal goal or business goals, right? Yeah. I'm working on my 6-pack. I got 2.
Can we see?
They're over there. Hanging up.
Want to see?
They're over there sitting, hanging up with my sweatshirts and my jackets and hoodies.
If you brag about it, you got to show it.
No, actually, my goal, honestly, this year, I want to find 50 people that I can help 50 people. It doesn't matter if they have $5 or $5 million. I want to find 50 people this year, 50 new people this year that I can help, whether they no type of requirements other than there being 21 maybe or 20, but just there's just a ton of people that are just not so much they don't know, some people just don't have access or they don't really understand. There's a lot of questions that they don't ask. Everything online has been very there's just been too much stuff online and it's been so wrong, so off base, so Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, Forex this, and they to understand what they need. That's I got to put myself out there. My goal is to get 50 people this year to help 50 people. That's my goal.
So that works out to be 1 a week, right?
Just about. Yes, sir.
Totally doable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With everyone's help, with the Hancock Park Referral Network out by my side, I can accomplish anything.
We should be able to get you at least 5 over the course of a whole year.
Yeah,
that's 10%.
There you go. But that's me.
Just keep harping on it. Keep reminding us.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna nag the hell out.
All right. Next, how about Liberty?
Hey, Hi everyone, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Liberty, I like your hair. Sorry.
Thank you. You know what? She convinced me to get bangs and I'm really regretting it. So thanks. um,
It looks great.
oh, thank you.
You guys didn't even notice before I said anything.
They did. They said something. They
No, I'm
did.
just joking.
I did the same thing because I was hating on it.
That's okay. That's how I feel. um, let's see. Happy New Year's. Let's see. For New Year's, it was very quiet. We were exhausted. You know, you got 3 kids. I was in bed at 10. I was like, 2021 looks just like 2020, you know. But when I think about like when I'm looking ahead at the year, I have some, the way my business works is I've often tried to look out the year, and really what I do is just look out the first 3 to 6 months because stuff happens more in that window for me. And I have an exciting first half of the year planned. I've been really trying to get the word out about what I do because it's so specific, but it's fun. I have a ton of commissions lined up right now, which is really exciting. And almost to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to tell people I'm not available for 6 months, you know, because it's really starting to roll. And I've got a couple podcasts lined up where I'm a podcast guest, which is just super duper fun for me. I love speaking about artwork and specifically about the healing aspects of it. So I've gotten into a couple more opportunities just opened up in the last week or so. And so when I'm thinking about those kind of things, and I think about like, who do I want to meet this year? I want to meet more people who are, because of the specificity of my work, I want to meet more people who are going to help put that as a megaphone. So more podcast people, especially people who care about creativity, or I think I've talked about like how HR people are often great for me because they're organizing creative events for people, or they have an activity for a group of people, or a happy hour. But podcasts are really fun for me. And interior designers are great too. I have a collaboration I'm going to do with an interior designer right now. I also got accepted into an artist residency, which is kind of a big deal for an artist, where you get paid to make art. So that's really fun. And this one is on the intersection of healing and art and race. So I'm in a cohort of people where we're going to talk about those things and read some books together and then create art and events based around that. So that's what the first half of my year looks like. And I'm pretty excited about that part.
Very nice. Any questions for her?
Liberty, that sounds wonderful. Really great.
Thank you. I'm
Congratulations.
excited.
So people who can introduce you further into the world, is that right? Like you said, podcast people. I know somebody who is like she like runs the organization that is like the labor union for artists in San Francisco, but I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those kind of things are great. Like people who source art also, there's like for interior designers, that's great. The reality is that like when a lot of people hear what I do and they really once they understand it, they're like, oh, I totally know someone, or I've been hanging on to that, you know, set of grandpa's old shirts that I didn't know what to do. And I don't want them to sit there. I want it to become something special in artwork. Or these interior design samples that I've had sitting around mean a lot to me because I designed my house around them. But what am I going to do with interior design samples? Or like, I'm really big on recycled work as well. So like specifically because I worked in the interior design industry for a number of years, I know the waste that goes on in there, and it's kind of upsetting because they purport, like a lot of the businesses there purport themselves as very like eco-friendly, but they have all these samples that they're getting rid of constantly. And design firms have the same problem, that they just put things in dumpsters. And so I'm connecting with interior designers as well. I have one that I'm going to meet up once the big surge is over, and we're going to use some of her product samples and create a unique piece of artwork for her. So, you know, there's a lot of different things. Textiles have so many different aspects of our lives. And people don't realize it until they start really thinking about it. I've been doing a ton of cold calling for for people who are the professional organizers, and the level of excitement I'm getting from them is kind of funny. I was like, oh, I didn't realize, I don't think people or like contact that very much.
Good stuff. So 2 things. One, I love the bangs. They work. All right. And number 2, I just had a thought because I used to teach in the schools, and the schools are always desperate for art for the kids because all that stuff has been defunded since Prop 13. And I just had this brain, whatever idea, whatever, about getting together all these designers and all these people that are throwing this stuff away, and maybe getting them to kind of create some kind of collaboration where they're donating this stuff to the schools. And
Yeah, I
help
do
with their
that quite a bit
marketing.
already. Yeah, they're not actually taking donations right now because a lot of them are, you know, they're on lockdown. I do have one particular school in South Central that I partner with, and I've gone in and taught all day workshops there to some of their, basically like it's a sewing club that they have, and we've done it as in-house field trips. I've done field trips for Craft in America, which if you were in my world, you'd be like impressed by that. But they'd have a whole TV show on PBS and everything, and they're based in West or in right near the Beverly Center, basically. But yeah, I do field trips for students. That's what I mean. Craft in America pays, but a lot of times that's volunteer work as well, which I do a lot of that.
Yeah, well,
And I do the same thing at shelters as well.
right. And I know you mentioned, and what I was getting to is sometimes these companies, you know, for publicity and stuff, want to donate money and things like that. So not only could they donate money to create a fund to pay you, but then to give you the materials to go in there and do it. So just a thought.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be a great idea. It sounds like something to think about.
Okay, beautiful. Anything else for Liberty? I mean, and I don't know, maybe I'm just making connections in my own head, but interior designer, Liberty, possibly interior designer for tea? Or is that maybe not your number one, tea?
Yeah, no, I said interior
That was her
designer.
number one, yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
like women interior designers.
Yeah. Which is why I had hoped my friend Emma would do it. She had said she'd come again at the new year, so we'll see.
And T, just a question. I have a friend who's a female and she's a flipper. Is that a woman in construction?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no rules. We're still figuring it out, but a woman who flips houses has to have a crew. You know,
Yeah.
she has to have some people to do the work.
She does,
But
yeah.
an interior designer, I realize now, Eric, when I was speaking that I did my commercial because I saw it on the screen. But
Yeah.
an interior designer is a power partner that I'm looking for. So that's what I'm specifically looking for this year. I'm looking to partner with more interior designers. They don't have to be women, but on a side, on a sidebar, the other, sort of venture that I'm doing, I'm just looking to connect a bunch of women who work within the construction industry.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Thank you.
No problem.
Perfect. Jimmy, how about you, my friend?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Good morning, everybody. Jimmy Green, Finance America Mortgages. So let me see. So going back to the holidays, I had a great time. All my kids came home, and it was funny because my kids are adults, and this is the first time in a long time that they couldn't go anywhere. So we had to spend New Year's together. So I actually, Liberty, like you, I used to crash out at like, 10 o'clock. So I'm like, hey, there's no point. And I don't drink, but it was great. Got to party with the kids. We had a great time, and we got out, had a lot of good times. We went out and did some disc golf, and I'm going to, let me see here if I can share my screen. My daughter's boyfriend is really into collectibles. So my other daughter and I went to go get him a gift at the Funko store. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Funko store up in Hollywood. It's those kind of bobblehead things. And so we went and toured that. And that was a lot of fun. It was like you know how you go to the amusement parks and you get off the ride and they make you walk through the gift store on the way out, so you'll buy stuff. It was like a Funko gift store on steroids. So if you get a chance and you're into collectibles and stuff, go check it out. So that's what I did.
Is
All
that
right,
Groot? Was
I'm
that
sorry?
Groot? Was that
That was
Groot?
Groot. Yeah.
Oh,
that was
okay.
Groot. I'm Groot. Anyway. So anyway,
I didn't believe you. Say it again. Gotta say it with a little more.
No, did you hear what I just said? I love it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that character, but all he says is I'm Groot, but every way he says it, it's something different. And was it at the end of that one movie when he was the teenager? And he says, I'm Groot. And he goes, don't talk to me that tone of voice. Having teenagers, we all understand that one, don't we? So anyway, so yeah, holidays were good. I'm grateful, for life and family. And I was looking back on 2020, you guys, and I am so grateful for 2020 because, like I said, my kids came home, got to hang out with them for a while, and they've all, two of them have gone back to school. And business was good. As a mortgage banker, I did really well because rates were great. So I did really well last year. I'm looking forward to a good year. I'm looking forward to some peace and prosperity and some change and some love in this country. And really looking forward to that. And in addition to that, though, in terms of business, I'm just looking to work with, continue to work with good people. I like working with good people, professionals, things like that. People, we specialize in jumbo loans. So those are loans over, basically 750,000. And that's our wheelhouse for the products we got. So people buying big homes are great. And I love them. People want to refinance. But, and then in terms of, I was thinking about something, some changes I wanted to make. One is I was thinking about really my values in terms of business. And I really want to pitch that, push the golden rule and make sure that I treat everybody the way I want to be treated, because I like to be treated well. And I'm really pushing to make sure everyone I deal with is really treated well. And I think I do a good job of that, but I want to do that even better. And then one other thing is, I don't know if you guys know, I do workshops. I teach people how to overcome fear. And, I've been doing a bunch of Zoom shops. And before that, I did them in person. And I'm like, I love doing that. I love teaching. It's always been part of me. So I want to continue to expand that. I want to grow that business and keep doing workshops. So that's something else I want to do. And that's me. Any questions?
BJ.
Several hands.
I'm interested in the Zoom workshop that you do, Jimmy. So
Yeah, I was going to ask
about that.
I just want to know what tactics you
I'll
use.
send you guys a link to a couple I've done.
Okay.
So, and you can check it out, see what you think.
Nice. Good stuff.
Okay, well, I was just, the Zoom workshops, we know about your loans, we know what you're looking for. And it's nice to hear about your holiday. And I agree, hopefully things are gonna get a lot more calm this year, hopefully. And yes,
I interrupt you, they are.
They
Life is
are
gonna get
already.
better for all of us. It's gonna get better. We're healing.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Next, shall we move to the next? Perfect. Leisha.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry I'm so late. I was having some technical issues, so just joined the call. Are we just chatting, or what were we doing?
We are talking a little bit about our holiday.
Okay.
And then we're talking about, we've had two Tuesdays off. So we've had some time off. Tell us a little bit about what you did, if anything. Most of us, nothing so far, it seems like. And then, maybe go back a little bit on what we talked about the last meeting of the year, which was about your goals for the year, maybe some, the kind of people you're looking to meet. If you had the ideal, person you want to meet, who is that person? And yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, well, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm sure you already did all this, so I'm late to the party. But like most of you, I took some time off for the holiday. It was really, really good. So surprisingly so. I don't know about everybody here, but I actually am single. I live alone on the West Coast, so wasn't really looking forward to the Christmas holidays. I thought, man, this is really going to kind of suck, but it was surprisingly great. So technology was my friend, got a chance to connect with people who were important to me, and took some time just being a little bit more introspective, slowing down, trying to assess last year. Did something I love to do every year, which is write a thankfulness list at the end of the year. So things that I'm thankful for that happened that year always helps me to put things in perspective. Even though 2020 was crazy, there were a lot of great things that still happened. So that was really good exercise. I joined a women's women's prayer circle. Basically, there's a book we're reading, and we're gonna walk through that for the next several months. So that was a really great way to start off the year. In terms of, let's see, that was last year. What are we doing this year? Okay, so who do I want to meet, and then what are my goals? So I'm sure everybody said the same things before I joined. Want to meet great people, nice people, want to seek to serve, and want to find the people that are like-minded. And so in terms of industry, still looking for somebody in the car business who likes to service people, who has probably a smaller business, more one-on-one. And I think we also talked about property managers last time, same with me and Cynthia. And in terms of business goals this year, from a big picture perspective, looking for additional folks. Jimmy actually sent me somebody fantastic. I've been asleep for a couple weeks, Jimmy. I'm back, but I will make connections. So thank you so much for doing that. And looking forward to kicking that off this year, growing our team. I have some fabulous people who work for me, and want to grow that so we can serve more people. And I think that's it. Just really happy to be here. Good to see everybody's face this morning. That's it for me.
Lisha, hi, my name is Naima. Can you please let me know what you do?
Oh, I'm sorry, Naima.
That's okay.
Yeah, no worries. Well, nice to meet you. And I'm sorry I missed your introduction. It's actually Leisha. It's easier than it looks. It's like it's a long A, like the Hawaiian lei. Okay. So if you think about Hawaii, that's a clue. I'm in this group. I'm actually a State Farm agent, but in this group, I am the insurance and financial. I am the property and casualty specialist in this group, and that just means physical things: houses, cars, businesses, that type of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
All right, beautiful. Any questions or comments for Leisha?
I was gonna say similar as far as being the single. I was on Hinge a lot of December, so you know that helped. That helped.
Oh, okay. We'll talk offline. Give me your
Leisha, did you put me on your
feedback on that?
I deleted the app.
Okay, let's go research Hinge.
Oh, okay. Got it. Tanisha, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Did you put me on your thankfulness list?
I put all of you on my thankfulness list. One of the many things I was thankful for this year.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I want a specific line item.
You know,
written on the top in all caps.
Okay, perfect.
As
That's a
we
good
speak
list
right now, Tanisha.
Okay, that's a good list. I like it. Thank you.
All right, beautiful. Next, let's go to Jim.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So New Year's for us was great. My family, we're all together, just my kids and I and my wife. We had some time together. We cooked together. We sat by our new gas fireplace. I spent a lot of time actually getting myself organized. I got a lot of things done over the last few weeks, and I did make a plan for the year. And one of my sort of major, I did a month-to-month plan. I did a quarterly plan and a month-by-month planning for the whole year as well. And I set some goals. And one of the things that I really want to do this year is, especially for the first 3 months, I'm working on pulling together a bunch of material that I can present in talks to other healthcare professionals or to potential patients. And then I want to start to build relationships with individuals who might be able to, like, for instance, specific doctors. So let's say one of my patients has a GI condition, and I've helped them with that. So I'm going to start reaching out to their physicians and trying to connect with them and just sort of create a little bit more conversation with the hope of actually it leading to a referral source. And so I've committed to trying to actually reach out and connect with 5 other healthcare practitioners, and that could be anywhere from psychologists to even like trainers or, exercise people, orthopedists, even like podiatrists, certainly dermatologists, or GI specialists or neurologists, or really almost any aspect of medicine, because I'm really interested in talking to people and trying to help present to them information that would just enlighten them as to what we can do for people. And if we share patience, it's a really great way. So I've started organizing myself. I'm implementing a new EHR system, which is a big deal because I've been on paper for the last 15 years. I have so much paper, I can't even deal with it. So from now on, everything's going to be, or once I get it organized, but I started with the system, and once I'm up and running, I'll be completely paperless, which will be great. It's going to save me a ton of time, and it's going to help me really keep my business in much better order. So I'm really excited about that for this year too. So really my goals are to reach out to a lot more people, 5 per month, and to put together some presentations and I'm going to generate one piece of collateral information a month. So that would be like a chart or a blog post or an article or something like that that I can just reuse on a subject, and so that I can start to do more presentations and get some more referrals.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Any questions for Jim or comments?
I have a question for Jim on the collateral that you're producing. Are you going to put that out there digitally, so for your social media fans to see, or on your website?
I plan to have a couple of different sort of levels of material. One would be something that I would present to practitioners, and then I also have material that I would present to potential patients. But the idea really is to, I would like to actually not just put this material out, but actually be able to use it as part of like email, like nurture sequences where, you know, I send out emails to people and I have like little treats that I can put in there for them. And so,
Cool.
you know, it's just a way to kind of create an organized and automated way to contact people on a regular basis. And really, because I have so many people I've seen over the years. I mean, I've seen 10,000 people. I mean, not 10,000 people. I've had 10,000 visits, but I have probably 12 to 1,500 files. Each one of those has a name, a phone number. I didn't used to collect email addresses, which don't ask me why. But I have a treasure trove of contacts. I just need to be able to sort of make sense of it and create an orderly way to work through that. And also, I don't just want to go backwards. Mostly I want to go forward. So it's really about making new contacts and then working with those people in a current way.
Very cool.
Jim, do you have a good guy for helping you go paperless?
Yeah, it's called Unified Practice. It's a system. It's an electronic health record system that is actually catered to practices like mine, acupuncture practices and other independent healthcare practitioners. It's really pretty cool. So I've been in contact with, after I got on the service, it's a subscription service. And after I got on it, we had some trainings, and then I've been working with the software and doing some tests and figuring out exactly how I want my workflow to work. It's totally customizable. And I've called their customer service department probably twice a day for the last like week.
Beautiful, beautiful. Sounds perfect. Okay. Naima.
Hi again.
Hi.
So my holidays, as opposed to everybody else, have been super busy. And I'm not saying, I mean, I'm super grateful about it because the business is growing, but I'm really tired. So I'm hoping to find a new assistant. That's one of my plans for this year, to grow my team so I can have more time, because at the end of the day, I don't know if it happens to you guys, but you know, it's like I do this thing for clients, right, where I'm helping them with everything and providing more time, and then I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any. So I have to switch that around. But my goal for this year, an important one for business, is to grow my team, because I've had the business now for 3.5 years, and I never was a business owner before. So the more I learn to manage my company and being in business, the more I'm enjoying it. So I really like to do this, what we're doing right now, networking. But in order for me to be part of networking groups, I have to make the space, right, and the time. So again, we have to build a team so the team can work with the clients and I can work and do the network and the marketing and all of those things. And it's also very aligned to the fact that I am from Spain, actually, originally. And so I wanna go back to my country more. I usually go once a year and I didn't go last year. And so I wanna spend more time with my family, especially because my mom is not doing well. So again, you know, building a team, it's super, super important. But basically my goals for this year are, you know, they're pretty much always the same. I really love learning. And so I take classes. I love to work on my personal growth as well. So I keep, you know, learning about this and also attracting and getting to meet wonderful people out there with big hearts. And, you know, just to enjoy life, which is something that I really believe in. And it's actually the foundation of my business. That's why I opened this business, because I noticed how everybody's so stressed out here in LA, right? And so in my culture, we work to live instead of live to work. And that's what I try to promote, and I want to keep promoting here.
Very inspiring.
What part of Spain are you from?
I was born in Sevilla, which is in the south, but I grew up in
Yeah.
Barcelona. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've been to both of those places.
Yeah.
I love Spain. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. I bet you had fun.
Oh, yes. I miss it. I miss travel.
Gotta come with me.
So if I have this right, you bring the Spanish love of life by reducing shopping stress.
Well, shopping, but more than shopping, I think it's to-do lists, because they're very overwhelming. And we all have mastered the art of building these never-ending to-do lists. And I think that, you know, when you look at that, you know, all this fear comes up. Going back to this class, right? That who was Jimmy? That's in the group. And so I'm just trying to relieve stress. And yes, it's true that we relieve the shopping stress, but it's mostly, there's a lot of things around the house that that have to be dealt with, and even including renovations for the house. I mean, it's just so many things, managing a property. Some of our clients are out of the country, so we do that too. But yeah, it's my, you know, I want people to have time over the weekend instead of being so busy, because it really, I mean, I've been here, this year is going to be 20 years, and still I'm shocked when people tell me that over the weekends they have to run errands and do this and do that. I'm like, what? It's the weekend, you know, you should relax. So that's why people hire us, so they have that time to, you know, do other things and spend more time with their family. And some of them it's to put more time into their business, which is fine. But yeah, that's
great. So when you meet someone and they have this huge to-do list, like what's the first piece of advice you usually give somebody?
Prioritize.
Yeah,
because not everything is so important. I have a client, for example, it's her desire, right? And I respect it. But most of my time is just doing inventory of every single thing she has at the house. Everything. So it's like, you know, but again, it's her way of living, right? But maybe that's a priority for her, and we're all different, right? So it's about what's just pick 2 or 3 things, or what's the most important, you know, and then you start there instead of looking at the entire thing, because then it's when the anxiety comes. You just go one thing at a time without multitasking. I don't believe in multitasking, because that destroys your brain and you're not gonna be doing anything, right? But yeah, prioritizing is super, I think is the most important thing about.
good.
Yeah.
Maybe you can teach my kids about multitasking, because they'll be on the phone, they'll be doing homework, they'll be listening to music, trying to have a conversation. And I'm like, that whole generation, that's how they live.
No, and you know what? When I receive resumes, I'll see like, I'm a multitasker. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, you shouldn't be proud of that, because if you try yourselves, just try it today. Just try to do a few things at the same time. You're going to see how you don't do anything 100% well. It's just, it's not that we're stupid. It's just like our brains don't work that way. We can't, and we're only gonna make mistakes, and it takes you nowhere. But yeah. Oh, and my ideal client is the busy professional. I think I think it's clear. But
Busy person.
yeah, busy professional. So nice meeting you all. Thank you for having me here, Jim. Thank you for the invitation. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much for coming. It was so nice to meet you. We hope you'll come back.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Yeah.
Naima, I'm sorry, I missed your original introduction. Do you do like ad hoc work, or do you take a client on and just manage their entire life?
I manage, well, it's not their entire life. They all have different needs. So for me, it's like, okay, what's your issue, right? What's the problem? Where do you find yourself anxious, right? What's not working? And someone will be like, okay, mine is errands. Mine is now I have a new client, administrative tasks. Then somebody else, I have a client who lives in London, and she has a property in West Hollywood. So I manage her property, right? So she's like, phew, she doesn't have to think about it. She doesn't have to worry about it. She's in London with her kids and everything is fine. So it depends on the client. The first thing is like, I listen to, okay, what is that they need? And then I bring solutions and we design, a schedule and everything. And mostly it's a weekly visit that I do with them. And then some others, it's every other week. Mm-hmm.
Fabulous, thanks.
I wouldn't be surprised if Naima's client is the similar type of client as Liberty's client.
Well, some are definitely. We all love art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you. So when you have Naima, when you have someone and they need a professional, or let's say they have a whole bunch of things around their house to do and they don't have a good handyman, for example, are you the person who connects them with that person, or do you manage that project for them, and how do you do that exactly?
Well, let's get that example. So if it's a handyman, if I don't have a handyman in my contacts, then I will look for a handyman, and then I hire the handyman. I meet with the handyman. I supervise the work. I pay the handyman. They don't have the goal is that they don't have to worry or spend 1 second with that. They tell me what they need, and I make it happen. And so that's the other reason why, for me, networking groups are so wonderful. Because it's not going so much with the intention of getting referrals, right? I think you've always heard, right? It's about giving, and then it will come to you. And for me, it's a lot about meeting people like all of you, because my clients, at some point, someone is gonna show up saying, you know what? I need an acupuncture. I need to go to acupuncture. Also because, by the way, I love acupuncture. I think it works wonderful. But then somebody may need mortgage. Somebody may need an artist. Somebody may need a photographer. And then I'm like, I have all these people, So it works really well. But they don't do that at all. Occasionally, maybe somebody will be like, you know what, Naima, in this situation, I have a painter that I love. I'm like, okay, and then they'll give me the phone number, and then I take it from there. But most of the time is my circle. The professionals that I already work with. I'm very, I love one word that you guys had in the first slide, that was integrity in the group. And that's how I also work. And so I'm always looking for people who have really high standards in terms of humanity, being good people, honest, and have that integrity in their lives and at work.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Naima. Okay, let's move on to BJ.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So as you all know, I'm a photographer. My New Year and Christmas was very interesting. New Year's was quiet. Christmas was a little rough. I traveled with my partner to go meet her entire family. So I met her sisters and her dad and mom. And then we went to my mom's house to spend Christmas. But our dog has bladder stones, which we did not know. So he was really sick. So we ended up going to ER on Christmas night, which was it was crazy. But he's doing much better. So transitioning into the new year, he's a lot more healthy. And then New Year's Eve, it was very quiet. We spent it at home and watched some movies and just relaxed and just manifested and talked about what we want for our new year. And this new year has started off great already. I think I told you guys on the last meeting that we had that I want to open a photo studio. So I've already hit the ground running on that, and I'm looking at places. I found some that I like that are and aren't working out. So I'm just figuring out what works for me and feeling where my vibe is pulling toward, and seeing what happens with that. And my ideal client right now, like I actually shot a quarantine wedding this past Thursday, which went really well. It was really nice. It was in their backyard. So there are people that are getting married right now, but are having smaller ceremonies. So people that are getting married is ideal. I want to get more into real estate photography. I've done a few businesses and homes, but not as many as I'd like. And I'm looking at actually doing appraisal work. So getting my license for that, because that includes photography. And that was something my mom recommended because she had one come appraise the house and the photos were terrible. So I'm going to get started on my license for that. And just expanding as much as I can. I also do videography. So as Tino's, so for businesses or products, I have a clothing brand that I am working on where I've started doing home decor. So expanding in every avenue that I'm doing, it's a lot. Like Naima said, and like Liberty said, it's a lot of hats that I'm wearing, but I wouldn't change it for anything. So yeah.
Beautiful. Any questions or comments for BJ?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see, is there a website where we can take a look at your photos? Yeah, it's here, BJ.
Yeah, at the top, I think.
Yeah, thank you.
And BJ, you're looking for a place in Inglewood, right? Because my building that I have a studio in at Wilshire or Western and 6th has a lot of spaces in it, a lot of photographers.
Oh yeah. Let me write that down. Hold on. Oh, we can talk about it later.
Yeah.
I'm in Inglewood, but I'm open to any space.
Okay.
Like I've been looking downtown LA because that's usually where I end up going to rent a studio.
Yeah.
But honestly, as long as it has high ceilings and great natural light, I'm open to it.
Mine has that. That's why I moved into it. I love it actually.
Yes, that's where I'm looking for.
Okay,
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
And your doggy's doing okay now?
Much better. A little bit of an overshare. He was peeing blood, like it was bad. So he's much better. He wasn't really showing that he was in pain, so we had no idea. So, but thank you for asking. He's a lot better.
Oh, he's better. And by the way, when you get a chance, call me. I can fill you in on the appraisal business.
Yes, thank you.
BJ, I'd like to talk more about your home decor because I'm interested.
It's funny, me and T ran into each other while I was getting stuff for the home decor. So, and I had never told her about it. And I was sharing with her like, yeah, I make these really dope pillows. I wish I had one I could show you guys. It's downstairs, but I make pillows with this really cool design. And she was like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? We could have been using this for all the videos we've done. But they sell really well. They do really well. I just did a Melrose Trading Post pop up this past Sunday.
You didn't tell us about that either.
Oh yeah, so I do Melrose Trading Post too. When you wear a lot of hats, you kind of forget. But I know I'm mainly here for the photography and videography, so I try to stick to that. But yeah, I do a lot. So.
They're really nice throw pillows, and I've had a lot of the projects that BJ and I worked on in terms of renovating. The clients are always staging the project after we've completed it, and a couple of guys, sorry, my head keeps cutting off with this background. A couple of the folks that I've worked for have bought some really expensive throw pillows. They're $100 a pillow or more. So BJ's pillows aren't quite $100 yet, but they're very reasonably priced and they're very high end looking. So I said, well, why didn't he tell me? Because I would have thrown them into the shoot. But I thought they were really nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right, moving right along here. We have two more folks, Cynthia and myself. Let's start with Cynthia.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cynthia Juneau of Juneau Law Offices, and I am a real estate attorney in this group. My practice is a little broader than that, but the one thing that I'm really excited about doing right now is having 1-hour consultations that I provide to people so I can serve a broader piece of the population, so I can serve more people, is do a discounted 1-hour consultation. I realize I have knowledge in so many areas after 30 years of law practice in Southern California. And I've been really enjoying those sort of, I'll just call them bite-sized chunks of providing information to people. I do 1 hour and 2 hour discounted consultations. The 1 hour is $4.99 and the 2 hours $9.98. But I usually give a little more than just the hour, because I'm a giver. Anyway, the holidays were really, really tough for us. My spouse's father died, and I'm so grateful to be in this group because she went to New York to be with her family, and that was very scary because it's a difficult time to travel with COVID and everything. And they surrounded her mother with love, and then a beautiful plant came from this group. So I'll cry if I start to think about it, but you guys, thank you so much for making that happen. And I felt so loved, even though I wasn't there. I was here managing our teenager and our very needy puppy. I have so much in common with you, BJ. Mine ate rocks and had major surgery. He's much better now, but oh my goodness, it's almost a full-time job just managing this puppy. So the holidays were hard. We got through it. And now as we move into 2021, in deep gratitude for the ones who stayed, the ones who remain with us on this planet. And I have a desire to continue the organization of my life, my home, my life, my business, continuing to go. Jim, I really vibe with you on this, continuing to go fully digital. Reducing that paperwork is a project that I'm continuing on. So, and for my business, continuing to work with nice people. I got another referral from John Chadbourne. I'm working with the nicest family. I love this group, and I love working with people. I appreciate business, and I love being of service. So Happy New Year, everybody.
So maybe we should have a competition of like, who can refer you the nicest person this year?
I just got one that is so nice. The entire family is so nice. I can't believe it. So that would be tough to top that, but go for it.
Do I get points then for not recommending someone who is not nice?
You know, I think you do. Liberty.
I thought about it. I thought, oh gosh, this person needs Cynthia, but I am not sending them to her.
Liberty screened a client for me, and you know, screening a client, sometimes people don't mean to be nasty, but their lives are in such disarray and they're so overwhelmed, or maybe they're in pain and they need Jim Bloomfield. But you know, and yes, yeah, they need all of us, really, don't they, to make it all work. But you know, I really appreciate the filtration system of the fabulous Liberty Worth.
That's right. I mean, if you think about it, like, you know, use your discretion when introducing us. We are a fine-tuned instrument. We are a Ferrari, and if you throw a bunch of crud into the Ferrari, it might slow us down. So rethink that if you have some crummy people.
I did see a Lamborghini at an AMPM one time. It was horrible.
What's that?
So I did see a Lamborghini getting gas at an AMPM. It was hilarious. I was crying. Obviously, it's a rental.
in LA can you rent Ferrari?
That part.
Right?
That part.
Okay. Anything else for Cynthia?
No, we love Cynthia.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm the last one in this long line here. It's 8:18. I'll make it quick. I have 4 children between 8 and 13 years old. So that's what I did this holiday. And we had a lot of tickling and laughing and snuggling and fighting and screaming and yelling, and just had our first vomit. It wasn't the vomit of one of the kids, surprisingly. It was the dog who, when my wife was taking the dog out of the top bunk where she had fallen asleep with my 8-year-old, which we do a lot, we fall asleep up there. She was bringing the dog down at like 3 a.m. and the dog threw up on her, just as a sign of respect and caring. You imagine, like, in the dark, you're climbing out of some kid's bunk. It's 3 a.m. You forgot and now you've got dog vomit. But it's all done with love, and we enjoy it very much. And there's always something new in the Flexner household. Right now I'm hiding. You might wonder, what is this background? I'm hiding in my attic is what I'm doing. And but we had a great, at home. We didn't do anything really except just stay home. I there's a special Danish New Year's dinner that I made from the old country. And other than that, we've just been home, doing what everybody else is doing. And on the business side, the more I think about it, the more, and by the way, Naima, I'm a real estate agent. The more I think about it, just the more I want to slow down, be still. There's a lot happening all the time. Opportunities are flying by. And I don't want to be so all the time. I want to be just still. And if I miss out on 10 or 30%, that's okay. I just want to, so I read this great book called The One Thing. And basically it's about identifying, we all have these lists like Naima talks about, and they could go on forever. But we all have one thing that, this is the way they describe it, the doing of which makes all other things easier or altogether unnecessary. And in my world, that one thing is talking to 20 people a day. That's all it is. I do that and I'm good to go. My business will be flourishing properly, and my private and personal life will be flourishing, and I'll have the number of clients I want. I'll have the right kind of clients I want to have. So many things fall from that one thing in my world, which is calling and talking to 20 people a day. So that's my goal. Every day. It's not easy to do. It's a 3, 4, 5 hour undertaking, as Leisha, obviously knows, and other people who are in sales, Antonio and so on, Jimmy. So, I'm not going to make that 20 every day. But I'm going to be, I'm in a coaching program where we have to log our numbers at the end of every day and, track that. So, you don't forget. And that's what I'll be doing. I'll be just, you can ask me during the year, are you hitting your numbers? Because that's all I have to do this year, and everything will be great. All right, that's my business goal. And having said that, what I would love to do in order to meet my goal, I just want to meet a lot of people. And I want to know, I want to know everybody in Hancock Park. I want to, I should know everybody in Hancock Park. I'm a broker. I'm a real estate agent. I know the local market, and everybody likes to talk about that. And if they don't want to talk about that, that's okay. I still want to know them. A lot of incredible people. So if you know somebody in Hancock Park, that would be a great tip for me. Things always go from there, just knowing and getting to know people. And so yeah, that would be very helpful on my end. Okay.
Erik, I have 2 questions for you. One, are you open to work in other neighborhoods? And 2, which company are you with?
Coldwell Banker, Hancock Park is where my office is located. And yes, I work all over the city. Mm-hmm. This group is for, focusing on what you really want, right? That, you know, we have all the spectrums of the business that we do. I would love to have, you know, a lot of clients in Hancock Park in those big old mansions. You know, I love those mansions. Does that mean I work all over the city? I've sold more houses in Marina Del Rey than in Hancock Park. In the course of the last year, I sold, I was referred somebody, I sold them a house in Marina, and I just sold, Jimmy referred me a great guy, and he's in escrow in Inglewood. So we're all over the place.
Right.
But, you know, I have to focus on one thing. So I say Hancock Park, but obviously anybody who's buying or selling, I'd love to meet them. If they're talking about moving, using the word moving, I'd love to have a conversation and, you know, no stress.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, well, we have used up our times, ladies and gentlemen. It's 8:24. No time for specific commercials, but I think we covered most of it. And it was really, really great to see all of your bright and shiny faces. Everybody's back. I'll have a talk with Alon. We haven't seen him for a while, so maybe there's something going on there. But otherwise, everybody's here today. It's so wonderful to see your faces. Happy New Year. Let's kick some butt. We have a lot of changes happening in this world. So let's hope for the best and have each other's back.
Happy
Hey,
New
real
Year,
quick.
everybody.
Real
Bye.
quick, this is BJ's third meeting, right?
Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep, it's time to join.
Okay, so
Official.
we'll see you next week.
All right.
You'll be on the hot seat.
He needs an application.
Yeah,
Yep, BJ needs an application.
I'll send her one.
Beautiful. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.